Thank
pilot
you.
was stunning.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
thank you. Well, thank you. I did it all myself.
It's probably the
Marcus,
scariest
wasn't it
thing.
beautifully directed?
Yeah, the visual look is phenomenal, but what you guys were able to do with like the pacing, the character development in the 142-minute pilot was just amazing.
It's hard. And I watch it now, and I'm like, okay, well, I knew going in that I had sort of this retired FBI agent back in the field, drinking a little bit, and I kept asking, how can I portray that in a fresh way? But I did kind of, because the plot of the story is so sort of like out there, it's a little wiggy. I mean, you have to sort of, buy into what's happening. I wanted to make sure that we had the comfort of a hero, the comfort of a tragic, broken hero, and as the series develops, I can sort of peel him away and sort of show him differently.
It feels like, again, you painted a bullseye on every single character, and it's slightly terrifying because you can kill them off pretty easily and replace them, at least the way it seemed. How do you recruit talent for a show where they could be dying in an instant?
Well, you let them know. And welcome to my next week. But I was just talking to Marcus, and we're like, well, how do we let so-and-so know that, there's not going to be that many more episodes. But you know what? It's just the fun of the show. We learned on Vampire Diaries how effective it is to, in the first season, that was a big game changer for us. We took a leading character and we whacked him, like boom, and it was just like, whoa, did that just happen? And I feel like at that moment, we turned into a different show. We kind of grew up, and it worked for us. And I just think it's good storytelling. If you can get someone emotionally involved and then defy expectations, it's so hard. We've seen everything before. I mean, I see everything coming when I watch television, and I go to a movie, and so I'm just trying to change things up a little bit, tell a story in a different way. This is still a story about evil, good versus evil. It's classic, bad guy, good guy. But hopefully, I want to spin it in a way in which is at least emotional, and you care about it, and then maybe kill people.
Can you talk about the casting? Was it difficult to get Kevin Bacon on board?
It wasn't the easiest thing to do. But I did kind of, I was, when, it was very sort of, like I was talking to my agent, I was just like, I want someone like Kevin Bacon. And he goes, well, he's represented here. He's at this agency. He's thinking about TV. But he's looking for cable. He didn't want to do network television. And so he only wanted to do like 12 episodes. And so then that was a big sticking point. It's like I couldn't even get him, I don't think he was even going to read the script. But then he had asked his agent, what's the best script out there this year? And he goes, you're not going to like it, it's broadcast. And he read it and went, oh. And then they figured out a way to reduce the number of episodes, which works better for me.
Yeah, does it help you yet?
It was a whole stride. I was like, yeah, go to just say you'll only do this many, because it's the better, And then when we actually took it to Kevin Riley at Fox, he was like, sure, because his whole goal was, he's tired of seeing, broadcast television get swept. It's watching cable is still the thunder of broadcast television, because it does. And so he said, you know what? There's no reason we can't have a cable-like show on our network. And so that's how they're approaching it. This is a cable show. This is not, we're going to do something different. So,
can you talk about the genesis of the idea, like where this came from?
It's so weird. I got this idea when I was first writing Scream 1. And then I went down the Scream route, and then I sort of sat on it, and I played around with various, is it a cop show, is it a serialized serial killer show? First I thought, well, maybe this is the first case, and then it ends and we go into another case. It's a show about a cop, but I'm not the procedural guy. And then the show was just such a different. I felt in my mind it was a different show than what was on TV. And so I felt like no one's going to buy it. I don't know what it is. And then, in the last 5 years, we've discovered the hybrid show. And I feel like you look at something like The Good Wife, and is that a lawyer show? Is it characters in an office drama? Is it a love story? Is it a story, just a character story about a woman who just sort of wakes up one day after his horrible marriage? I mean, what is that show about? It's a lot of everything. And so, and I love that show. And then I look at all these cable shows, these are hybrids. And so this is a hybrid. And I'm like, okay, now's the time. I can do it.
Does does being on broadcast, I guess, hinder any of your ideas?
Well, it does hinder us a little bit in terms of just like honestly the reality of it. Like when you really look at serial killers, they're really motivated by some really gruesome things, and certainly we can't show that stuff. But I also feel like it challenges you to be scarier. Like, how can I make this scary? You don't have to show. It's like I don't need to see someone carve out eyeballs. The idea that someone's carving out eyeballs freaks me out.
Well, you succeed.
It freaks, if I know you're going to cut out my eyeballs and then I see an ice pick, I don't need to see it. The idea alone is scary enough. And so I think that's sort of, there'll be some of that. We will be challenged about the gore. And, and I don't mind. I don't like all the blood. I'm not the bloody guy. I like scary. I like emotional scary.
The thing, the pilot is so suspenseful and you almost don't want it to end, but you need it to end because you're like, what is going to happen?
I know we have so many things that loose ended, which
but that's great. Like, how do you? Is it going to be that suspenseful, that tense every episode? Is that like a plan?
Yes and no. I mean, it's going to. Yes, it will. There'll be moments of all of that throughout. Now, will it be? And we're really setting up a lot in the pilot. Now, we do launch into that sort of thrill ride. It does move like that. And the next, I keep saying that we're going to try to sort of balance it out so that everyone can breathe. But the next episode is just as tense like that because they're trying to find what's happening. They're on the run, and they're trying to get ahead of a very, very dangerous thing. And they're just sort of they're discovering it as it's happening, and the body count starts to rise, and it gets out of control, and everyone gets scared. And then there's a love story to tell too. I mean, that's the fun part is we get the flashback, and we get to show all these key moments in their lives, and we get to sort of show Joe and Claire and what happened 8 years ago and who they are today, and it's gonna be fun.
So can I send you my bill for therapy and Xanax?
No.
At the end of season?
But I feel like we haven't had a show. I want a roller coaster. I like these kind of shows. Did you guys watch 24? Where's 24? I watch 24. I miss Jack Bauer so much. And that show went like this. And I love that show every week.
There seems to be an interesting emotional element between your hero and your anti-hero, and it's almost like a dark love story. Just because the relationship has spanned such a long period of time and it's made up such an integral part of their lives, they're nearly obsessed with each other out of need. They don't want to desire each other and have to be part of each other's lives, but they just are.
Joe Carroll killed Ryan, destroyed him. He's the dead man. He's a walking dead man. And this is his opportunity. And now you've got your villain, the person you hate, saying, I can bring you back to life. Take it. You keep, throwing in the bait. And come back in. Let me bring you back to life. And what's he going to do when he gets him right back to where he needs to be? He's going to kill him again.
Powerful
it's
stuff.
a powerful. It's going to be a fun story, and it's going to be how can I stop that from happening again? But at the same time, take the part of it I need.
So this is going to be his path to salvation for him in a sense.
Yeah, it's chapter 2. It's like what happens when. It's about second chances, which is kind of when you look at it as a writer, that's you write what you know, and I sort of feel like that's what I've evolved to. So, he's physically, emotionally, and spiritually bankrupt, Ryan Hardy, and to sort of watch him get challenged in different ways every week, attacking those things, I think could be really powerful. It's going to be fun to watch Kevin make it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.